But all right, let's switch topics here to something. I don't know if this will be light, but let's switch
Let's find
to The
out.
Boys. If you have not watched The Boys, we watched first 3 episodes. We might dabble into spoilers here, so a tentative spoiler warning. But this show, man, it's back.
Woo!
um, yeah, it's back. So what you think, Kyle? What were your thoughts on it? I mean, I love the show. I think it's great, but what do you think? You were late to the
Oh,
party on this show too.
I was
Years of
like with
recommendations from me, but Kyle still won't listen.
like with most shows, I'm always late to the party. But when I arrive, I have a good time. And with the boys, I'm having a great time, man. Like this show just knows how to be its true authentic self and how to keep pushing the story forward in creative ways, in interesting ways, in character driven ways, and it just keeps topping itself one season after the other. So far, the beginning of this season with its first 3 episodes, man, I love it. Like not only just, in terms of the action and the gore, but also just with, the way that they treat characters, whether it's, characters that we like such as Huey, or whether characters that we just absolutely despise like Homelander, they're able to find ways to make us feel both sides of the spectrum with them. Like we can be frustrated with them, we can hate a character, but we can also like feel compassionate and sympathy, even if it's just like a slight bit when it comes to like,
Mm-hmm.
the villain characters especially. But on top of that, it also just knows how to poke uh, um, fun at the
Superheroes.
current state of the world, whether it's the political points of view on both sides, but in terms of entertainment as well. Like it just does a really great job at being self-aware of the world, that it's able to incorporate it into this fictional show without feeling like it's trying to make us learn a lesson, without it making it feel like it's being too pushy in terms of like what it's trying to say. It just does a really good job at making it feel organic to the world that this show sets in. And I just have really been enjoying it. Like you can just tell that everyone is on their A game, from the writers to the actors, that they just know what they're in and they know how to keep uh, pushing the envelope more and more each episode. So if you love the show, you're still gonna love the show because immediately
Mm-hmm.
it reminds you why the
You're
show
back
is
in.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the characters, man, for me. The characters are just so great. It's the best adult superhero show I think out there. And Amazon really lets them go crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
playing on the Thanos theory is something I didn't expect 11 minutes into the first episode. So,
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Oh my god." But yeah, it's uh it's a great show. The characters really are what drive it. And it's gotten to the point where it's not just Carl Urban. I mean, everybody's bringing their A game. The first 3 episodes were so good because we're starting to see Homelander be like, I don't care what you'll do. I'll
Becoming
wipe
more and
out half the
more.
United States if I want to. Like, and I
Yeah.
love that I guess this is some spoilers, but I said tentative spoiler. Um, the thing I really loved about that scene is he says, I like being loved. I want to be loved, but I'll be hated if you're going to force me to be hated, and I will wipe out everyone on this planet. And
Yeah.
to me, it's such an interesting angle. We've tried this dark version of Superman so many times, and this is by far the best. I think it's really funny that, what's the actor's name? Jason Eccles, who's playing Soldier Boy. Is that the
Oh
correct
yeah.
actor?
Jadenson. I'm sure Supernatural fans will come after us,
They'll
but I,
correct
I just
us.
don't. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but I think
I
it's
haven't seen
Jensen.
him in a lot. I know he auditioned for Captain America back in the day, so I think it's
Mm,
really funny that now he's playing this character. And it's like, I love the real plays on these superheroes. Like a guy from that day and age who just walks up to any woman. He's being a womanizer, he's being gross, he's
misogynistic. Yeah.
misogynistic,
As he would
racist.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more realistic to the time period and kind of that character or whatever, I guess. And I
It was a
just
really
think
good flashback scene with him too, with
it was
that character.
great.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious what they're gonna do with him. And everything. So, uh, yeah, I'm digging the heck out of this show. I can't believe it's back. there is a lot on television right now.
Mm,
What else you
for
watching?
sure.
Let's we finish the boys up here. What else you watching? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, we just did our Stranger Things season 4 review, so I
Stranger
finished that.
Things, Obi-Wan's
I
out. What else?
Obi-Wan too. I actually finally watched Showtime, the Lakers,
Such a good
the show
show.
about the '80s Lakers
Such a
dynasty.
good show.
Yeah, yeah, I was really impressed by that show in particular. Right now, I'm also watching Barry, and Young
Me
Justice
too.
is wrapping up, so I'm finishing season 4 of that.
For
Hopefully,
good.
it can be renewed for a season 5. That would be
Mm.
terrific. But
You
that's
know,
about what I've been watching lately. But even still, like that's more television than I usually watch throughout the years. I just don't get into wanting to be so focused on television as I am with movies. So, but
yeah,
that's what's on my watch list right now.
I always try to keep up with TV. I hung out with a bunch of friends the other day when I kind of had a lull in TV. I was starting an anime that I was liking, but was very long, and I was like, I don't know. I think I know Obi-Wan was coming. I knew Stranger Things. I knew Barry was coming, which I'm watching right now. And I was like,
Hmm.
I might take a break. Somebody suggested Winning Time for me on HBO. Watch that. Love
Winning time,
that.
not showtime.
Um, and a couple people suggested Candy to me, which has wrapped up and finished on Hulu. So I started that. I also just today or yesterday finished Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield, a limited series on Hulu, which was very good. Very that and Candy. If you're a fan of The Sinner, if you're a fan of True Detective, if you're a fan of those type of shows, especially more of a cop show like True Detective, it's really good. And Andrew does a great job. It's also got who's the Avatar guy? Sam
Oh,
Worthington.
Worthington? Yeah.
He's in it. He's great. Kurt Russell's son is in it from kid or our for he's in Falcon and
Oh,
Winter Soldier. He's in
yeah, yeah.
he's
It's
in
Wyatt
Overlord.
Russell. Yeah.
Wyatt Russell. He's great in this. It focuses on I think a true story of kind of some Mormons who kind of go crazy and they're murdering people because they think God's
Oh,
telling them to. And he's a Mormon in Utah solving this case and he's questioning his faith and everything. And it is an excellent show. I really enjoyed it. And you know what? Since I'm talking about it, and I want to make sure I get his name right, so I'm going to look it up because I really want to give a shout out to his partner um, in the show. Let's see here.
I've never heard of this show Candy, but it has Jessica Biel and Justin
Oh,
Timberlake.
it's by the guy who made The Sinner. Yeah. You didn't hear about it? I'm
Huh?
pretty sure we talked about it.
No, I never have heard about this. It's on
Gil
Hulu.
Birmingham,
Hmm.
is excellent in it, and I love what they do touching on him, and I love the angle of in Under the Banner of Heaven because it's so much faith-based related on Mormonism, and his partner is Native American, and I really loved that because they're in such a beautiful part of the country. They have so many talks about faith, atheism, different religions, and it's a very good show. Candy is very good. I'm probably halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's by the guy with the Sinner. Justin Timberlake is in it too. Didn't know
Hmm.
that till I got a couple episodes in. I was like, oh my gosh, here he is. I didn't. It took me a second to be like, is that him? Because he's got a big mustache. Oh, it's amazing.
Huh.
But the show is pretty good.
Nice.
It's got one of the actresses from Yellow Jackets in it as well, and I loved Yellow Jackets, which is another show I was watching. A lot of good shows out right now, though.